"You'll sleep on the plane," she said. She lied. Instead, I squirmed for 5 hours. Then I gave up and watched Barbie for the 3rd time in Italian. Even though I knew the whole plot, the only words I caught were the ones that she repeated over and over and over. Io, 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 I. I had other problems. I was prepared for the lines in the passport control, the airport bathroom, and the ATMs. I was smart enough to avoid the train ticket by buying it ahead of time. But after I wheeled my way through the crowd and reached the automatic gate leading down to the Leonardo Express that would take me all the way from the airport to the train station, that stupid, precious electronic barcode would not work. I stepped aside, rebooted my phone, and rejoined the airport internet network. When I attempted to get through the turnstile, the drabby sign still read "Error" in big red letters. I felt like turning around. But at that point, I was done. I'd traveled all the way from Tucson to Rome, and now I would be stuck at the airport for the rest of my Italian study abroad experience. Well, Gina exaggerates. She does get on the train, but her problems don't stop there. She meets an Italian couple, and they keep hassling her. Whoops, they hassle her on the next page. Okay. "Where are you going all alone? Why aren't you traveling with a friend?" I explained I was going to Orvieto to do a study abroad project, and she looked at me half-heartedly. Why wouldn't I study in Rome or Florence instead? They were bigger cities. They offered more options. "I just wanted to study," I said, "no distractions." But at that, the woman and her husband laughed. "It was Italy. Of course there would be distractions. But in a little town such as Orvieto, I wouldn't find anything exciting to do. That's why they would never move away from Rome. Oh no, Rome, that was a city. I would find Orvieto too small and too boring." I tried to explain that I couldn't change my plans now, but they were adamant that I made the wrong choice. They said the only important thing about Orvieto was the church. I didn't have the heart to tell her I wasn't too interested in churches. But nevertheless, I almost missed the sign when we got to Orvieto. I just tumbled off the train. For a moment, I worried that Lucia hadn't come for me. Then, a 50-something with wild hair, a tight red tank top, and a black skirt hiked up to her thighs, waved both hands. "Gina from Tucson!" she shouted. "Come, I see you now!" Her thick Italian accent resonated through the platform, even though it was open air. She wrestled the carry-on from my hand as if she were stealing it, and she marched me outside the train station where 3 cars were honking at the once white Cinquecento that was double parked. Somehow, I wasn't surprised that the offending vehicle belonged to my supervisor, Lucia. Welcome to Orvieto, I thought. Benvenuto. That's how Olive Lover starts, but of course Gina is going to have some problems. She has a small apartment that's suffocating, and she has a roommate that won't stop talking. So she goes out in town, she meets somebody that has a garden, so now she found a good place to study. But of course, that will lead to trouble. Now, since I already brought you guys to Italy, I'm sure you'd like to hear another song. Yes. When I sit, you guys are just like strong. I can't see anybody, so there's a lot of work. Okay. Well, another folk song. They don't mean anything silly. They don't mean anything. Well, it means something. But they're silly. Anyway, this one's about a peasant girl coming over the hills. All'alto quando sponde il sole, la neve sotto d'odio, le regime le campagnole discendono le valli in fior. Campagnola bella, sei la reginella, negli occhi with that, I should say, oh, it's so nice out, so you should run outside and enjoy the nice weather. Oh, the gals are playing over there. The quartet, it's a quartet, I think that's going to play over there, so you should go and listen to them. But in the meantime, I have plenty of time, and I would love to answer any of your pesky questions. Stephanie does have a question. Okay.
That's why I said
That's right.
So how many languages do you speak?
My Spanish is quite good, actually. My Mexican Spanish is quite good. I lived in Mexico for 5 years. And then I worked really hard on Italian. I worked on German. Und mein Deutsch, der ist da. Also, ich muss ein bisschen Deutsch. So I took German. My high school German teacher's right there. So I worked really hard on German, but it's a little bit harder for me. I do better with the Romance languages. So Spanish and Italian.
But you must have a little Greek also.
I have a little Greek. I fell in love with Greek, and I really worked hard on it. Ma in el disco, ya te ven la kala que skeptome siga. I have to think very slowly, but I love it. I really fell in love with it.
So do you know Dutch? You know they claim. It's easy to learn.
That's very easy to learn.
Yeah.
Because I speak it also.
Linguistically, it's the closest to English, so it should be the easiest one to learn. And can I just say that Tony's going to be our second concert tonight, and our first concert tonight. He already had to run upstairs to get ready to play. Any other questions? Yes. Is there any place you haven't fallen in love with? That fifth grade classroom.
So did you ever take your sister along on these vacations?
So as a matter of fact, what happened is that I got to take her somewhere after she finished high school. And we went to Greece. Last summer she came over to visit, my brother lives in Switzerland. He's been there a long time. And he does speak really good German. Much better than I do. You won't speak German with me. Anyway, so they came over and visited with John and Zurich, and then I was teaching in Orvieto, so they came down to Italy, and we had a lovely time in Orvieto, so very good.
Question.
Where in Greece did you visit up to the islands, or did you?
I've been all over Greece, but where I got a job, for 10 years I went to Greece every summer.
Okay.
And then I made the mistake of getting a job. Okay, so I worked on roads for a year, but unfortunately the boss was a thief. So he promised one salary, and then when we got there, he said, "I'm sorry, but I haven't had enough pupils, so I have to pay you, X minus whatever it was." We were so poor that on Saturday nights we would go out to a bar and have one coffee. So it was a terrible year, but anyway. Greece is really nice, just don't try to work there.
Yeah, we like it.
Yes.
So where's your next international adventure? I think I ought to know.
This poor guy's had to suffer 6 months of traveling with me just now. So anyway.
It was great. It was also exhausting, but it was great.
I'd love to answer any more questions. I'd love to sell you a few books.
So where are you going on your next
We haven't decided. Portugal, maybe?
Maybe.
That would be nice. I really love the South. There are lots of good places to go. So anyway, I'll just tell you quickly, we spent about 6 weeks in Japan. And it was beautiful because we were there for the cherry blossom season. And we started in the south and the north so that we could see as many cherry blossoms as we could. And even though my mother thought it was a terrible thing, it was really fun. So I'll have to go back to Japan too. Anyway, well, thanks a lot. Come ask questions, pick up a book, go hear the other concerts. Thanks for